the distinguished members of the Cabinet, the acting DG and members of the Board of Directors of LISGIS, members of the Diplomatic Corps, resident coordinator of the United Nations Population Fund, my partners of many sleepless nights, newly accredited resident coordinator of the United Nations System, Christine, happy birthday to you. Couldn't have had a better day. Members of the National Census Steering Committee, Liberia Council of Churches, National Imam Council of Liberia, our traditional leaders, civil society organizations, youth and student organizations, members of the full state, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by first thanking God and second thanking His Excellency, Dr. George Manuel Weah, for the success of the launch of the provisional results of the first digital census in the history of Liberia. I think we should now begin to decorate President Weah as the first president of Liberia, since too many firsts appear to be happening under his presidency. Special thanks also to the National Legislature, and Honorable Batikwa and Honorable Frank. Please convey our profound appreciation for your leadership. The National Legislature has been too flexible to the conduct of the census. They have had to set a date, reset a date, and then reset a date. So thanks. I think the same thing, thank all of the funders of the census and others who provided important technical and other forms of support. The government of Sweden, the Irish government, the World Bank, the United States Agency for International Development, the European Union, the United Nations System through UNFPA, ECOWAS, LISGIS, and the government of Liberia. A humongous thanks goes to the more than 16,000 enumerators spread throughout the country for their demonstrated patience and patriotism. And finally, massive thanks to the extraordinary intervention of many stakeholders, symbolized by the intervention of Her Excellency Dr. Tweh, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and Ambassador Judy Andy, Crusader of Peace, who brought an ambience of visibility to the census. Without President Weah's remarkable proactive leadership, without the legislators' flexibility and adaptability, without the patience and patriotism of enumerators, without the visibility engendered by Ambassador Judy Andy, and of course without the resources and expertise marshaled by the government and its development partners, we would not be sitting here today. Today we officially announce provisional results of the first digital census in the history of Liberia. The 2022 National Census, National Housing Population Census, has been gradually acclaimed as meeting the highest standard of international best practice. We are elated that the results finally are out and will now inform the design of government development planning and policy options. While these provisional results have been globally acclaimed, the road to getting here has been fraught. Significant challenges have bedeviled the conduct of the census, which should have been held in 2018 but had to be postponed for reasons germane to funding, preparedness, and other issues. More recent issues attending the census have revolved around management challenges at LISGIS and a collective inattention to the multifaceted dimension of the complex census process being occasioned in a highly politically fraught environment less than a year before election. Amid these challenges, the government and its partners mounted a vigorous all-of-government and all-of-society approach to the census and led to secondment of key personnel and experts at LISGIS from across the government and to a 24-hour granular oversight of the entire process. This extraordinary cooperation across the government and with the UNFPA and partners have led to the fantastically acclaimed results that we are announcing here today. 5.2 million Liberians alive today. Let me profoundly thank all frontline stakeholders across the government and the UNFPA for their commitment to seeing the process through when the stakes were very high. Special appreciation to Her Excellency Dr. Tweh for her passionate leadership on census management during the absence of the President, who was unofficial due to ably representing the country abroad. Special thanks to the government and the World Bank for additional funding that was required to complete the process, and the remarkable gratitude to members of the Census Steering Committee, co-chaired by the government and the resident coordinator of the United Nations system, but comprising other partners such as the government of Sweden, Tweh Swedish Ambassador, the Irish government, the United Nations Population Fund, the European Union, UNDP, the World Bank, the United States Agency for International Development, and others. Let me also, in this manner, thank the government of Ghana for provision of more than 21,000 tablets with 21,000 power banks. This would have cost some 5.8 million in nominal terms, but in real terms is in billions, because this is an example of South-South cooperation. My President, you were just reminding me of another South-South cooperation that's coming for our election purpose. We talked about that in our first meeting. The need to tap on South-South cooperation, whether from Ghana or from South Africa. We say thank you to the people of Ghana on behalf of the President of the government of the people of Liberia, and we look forward to greater South-South cooperation in our development efforts. Let us also thank the staff at LISGIS for coming through despite the challenges. LISGIS has some of the most competent and trained Liberians in public service. The technical work staff at LISGIS have been able to deliver for the census have been extraordinary. Big thanks also to the technical team led by Professor Jita Sedi and Mr. Chia Semfa Wisse, Assistant Minister of Health, who did the presentation on the census here today. And of course, monumental thank you to Ambassador Juliani and the Crusaders of Peace, who brought a new dimension to census visibility and communication. Shake your bit. The prodigious effort deployed by all, working together in unison and concert, illustrates the power and the possibilities that accrue from cooperation and coordination in national development. We have learned serious lessons from the challenge we face together, but I be more enlightened and inspired by the heights we can scale when we set our sights jointly on expanding the frontiers of transformation. The results from this census are indisputable and indispensable toward Liberia's development efforts. They provide a basis for seminal and critical transformational work in the human development space, for example, in the coming years as we tackle Liberia's human development challenge together. The triangulation of these results with results from the recent demographic and health survey and with results from the recent National School and Education Census, redound supporting to stark relief the opportunities for transforming human capital development in Liberia. The same is true for agriculture, which has been afflicted by misreporting that appears to underreport the quantum of food being produced in Liberia. These results germane to agriculture households will link up with subsequent food and agriculture surveys critical of delivering insights into transforming Liberian agriculture. These results also shed important light on the dynamics of infrastructure planning, urban city planning, and for the national budget, which is arguably one of the biggest influencer of government development. The results are also important for planning the next 5 years of national development, which the government is currently arguing would have to be about sectors and drivers of development at a granular and macroscopic level, where development is happening. Let us all celebrate the success of this first acclaimed digital census today, even as we imagine the possibilities the census results will drive our national development and our common patrimony. Thank you.